Hello everyone. So in the last video, we solved question that is queries, qualities and percentage, which was question number 19 of SQL 50 series. And today we are going to tackle monthly transactions one, which will be the 20th question. So let's dive in. Okay. So in this question, we are given a transactions table which has 5 columns, which is ID, country, state, amount and transaction date, where ID is the primary key and the table has information about incoming transaction. The state column is an enum of type approved or declined, which means a transaction can be approved or declined. Now we have to write an SQL query to find for each month. This is the main information for each month. And if the month is same, then for each country, divide it by country and the number of transactions, their total amount, the number of approved transaction means where the state is approved, and their total amount. We can return the result in any order. So first let's see the example. So in this transaction table, we have two countries that is US and DE. And these are their states, their amount, their transaction date. Now, as per the question, we have to divide this table first into month and then into country. So if you see the month, one more thing, month for a particular year. So the question is asking not for month. For example, in the US, we have these two entries. In both these entries, 2018, in this year we have the same month 12, right? So these two entries will be separate. But if I say, because these have the same year and same month, but if I say 2019 and same month 12, then they will be separate entry, because as per the question we have to find for each month, but that month is related to a year. So for example, 2019 and this will be 12, and let's say this is 2019 and 12, then these two will be a separate entry in the resulting table. Since these two entry have same year and same month, they become a single entry. Okay, so we have to divide this table first by using month, and month is for each year, right? Month and then country. So if we start dividing this table, so first division will be this, second division will be this, and third division will be this. So in the resulting table, there will be three entries, which we have here. Okay, so this first entry will have country as US, transaction count 2, that is two entries, approved, the first entry, with the transaction total amount 2000 plus 1000 3000, and approved one is the first entry, that is 1000. The second entry will be this for the US country, but the month and year both are different, so this will be a separate entry. So transaction count will be 1, approved count will be 1, transaction total will be 2000, and approved will also be 2000. Similarly for the third entry. So let me write the query so that we can understand it better. So first we'll select everything from transaction. Okay, so now we have to divide this table as per the question, first by month and the second by country. But what should be the month? So you see, we are given the date. If we keep dividing this table by transaction date, then these two will be separate entries, because in the first entry 18 and in the second entry the date is 19, so they will be two separate entry. But as per question we have to divide by month, so they have same year and month, they have same year and month, so these two entry should be grouped together. So we have to use something to extract this year and month. So there is a function in the SQL, that is date format. So we have to format this transaction date into format like this. So now our resulting result set will be divided by this year and month and then by country. So first let's divide it by year and month and let's see the result. We cannot like select everything. So let me select only this part as month. Okay, so in the output you see this is divided into two entries. Okay, now let's see the input table. This is the input table. In this table, we have 2018 12, 2018 12, 2019 1, and 2019 1. So these two entries are grouped together. These two entries are grouped together. Why these 20s are grouped together? Okay, because they have the same year and month, and in these two entries also they have same year and month. But now the second condition says that you have to group by country as well. So if we group these two by country also, then they will remain same. But if these two tables are grouped by country also, then they too become the separate entries. So the next condition is group by country. So now we group by country, we will get different country as well. So in the result set, you can see we have three entries. First entry for these two entries, and the next entry for this, and the last entry will be for this DE. Now we have to select something from this resulting table. First, this column should be selected as month. So we'll select this as month. Then the next one is country. Okay. The third one will be transaction count. So transaction count will be nothing but the sum of entries in this group. So count of these entries as transaction count. Then the third is approved. So you see in the first group we have these two entries. Okay. And we have to find the total amount where the status, that is state, is approved. So what we have to do is we have to sum, but sum of only those amount where the state is approved. So we have to use here switch case in the SQL. So case when the state is approved, what we have to do is then take the amount, else we'll take 0. Okay, and we have to end this case statement, and we have to select this as approved total amount. This is approved total amount. And similarly, we have to select the transaction total amount, that is after transaction count. We also have approved count, and then we have transaction total amount. So transaction total amount will be sum of amount. So transaction total amount will be sum of amount. And this one, which is after transaction count, we have approved count. How many entries are approved? So for that, we have to count the entries, but the entries count only those entries where the state is approved. So count where state is approved. Okay. So for example, in this group, if the state is approved, yes, that it is true. And for the true, count will be 1. And for the declined, it will be false. So it will be 0. Sorry, it should be sum, not count, because count will obviously give 2. So sum. So in the first case, it will be true, that is 0, 1. And in the second case, it will be declined. So false. False is 0. So 1 plus 0 is 1. So approved count will be 1 for this group, then 1 for this group, and 1 for this group. So let me explain you this query again. Let me format this properly. So here, first you select the month, then you selected the country, then you selected all the rows in the group as transaction count, then you select sum of all the entries where the state is approved. So this is approved count. Okay. Okay. So sum where the state is approved, sum of total amount as transaction total amount, and then we have approved total amount. Okay, which is sum where the state is approved, then we'll take the amount, else we'll take 0, and we'll show this as an approved total amount from transaction. So now let's run the query. Okay, so our solution got accepted here. Now let's submit this to see whether all the test cases has been passed or not. Okay, so our solution got accepted here. So the main thing here is to group it by month of that year, and the other thing are these things. The question might seems a complicated one as this is a medium question, but this is a simple select statement. The major thing or the main thing here to understand is how to get or how to write this select statement to get the desired result. So here we have used mainly the sum function in a different way.